The greatest lie society ever told us is that an empty house is a lonely house. Let me tell you a secret, my dear. You are never truly alone when you are in the company of a woman who finally knows her own worth. Stop fearing the quiet. The quiet is where you finally get to hear your own voice. Hello, my sweet friend. Come in, come in. Take a seat right here beside me. Yes, just rest for a moment. I know the world out there is loud, rushing by at a speed that sometimes leaves us breathless. When we are young, we are constantly running. We chase careers, we chase love, we chase the approval of society. We fill our homes with noise because we mistake noise for life. My name is Margaret, and I have lived long enough to see the seasons change more than 80 times. I have loved deeply, I have grieved profoundly, I have raised a family, and I have spent my entire life pouring my energy into the cups of others. But today, I want to talk to you about a very special chapter of life. A chapter that so many women fear, yet it holds the most profound magic and liberation. I am talking about the beautiful, sacred art of living alone as an older woman. People often look at an older woman living by herself with a gaze of pity. They think we are sitting by the window, waiting for the phone to ring, fading into the background of a world that has moved on without us. Oh, how little they know. Living alone is not a sentence, my dear. It is a sanctuary. It is a time when the dust of a busy life finally settles, and you get to meet the woman you have been too busy to get to know, yourself. If you are living alone right now, or if you are transitioning into this phase of life, I want you to listen closely to these words. Let my voice be a warm blanket around your shoulders. I remember the first night I found myself truly alone in this house. The children had long grown and started their own lives, and my dear husband had passed on to his eternal rest. The silence that first evening was deafening. It felt heavy, like a thick fog pressing against the windows. I sat in my favorite armchair, listening to the ticking of the grandfather clock in the hallway, and a wave of panic washed over me. Who was I if not a mother making dinner? Who was I if not a wife keeping the home warm and welcoming? For so many decades, my identity was entirely wrapped up in being what everyone else needed me to be. I was the caretaker, the peacekeeper, the one who compromised her favorite television show, her preferred side of the bed, and even the type of tea she drank, just to make others comfortable. I remember a Tuesday evening, a few weeks later, when a heavy rain was falling outside. In the past, a storm meant rushing around, making sure the children were entertained, ensuring my husband had his warm supper right on time despite the weather. But that Tuesday, it was just me. I made a simple bowl of soup. I sat by the window, wrapped in my grandmother's old quilt. I watched the raindrops trace paths down the glass, and in that moment, the silence was no longer a void. It became a comforting companion. I realized that for the first 30 years of my life, I lived under the roof of my parents, following their rules. For the next 50 years, I lived under the roof of my marriage, bending and compromising out of love. This was the very first time my space was unconditionally, entirely mine. I woke up the next Saturday morning and there was no breakfast to make for anyone else. There was no schedule to keep. I walked into the kitchen, made myself a cup of chamomile tea, and I sat on the porch. I watched the birds, I listened to the wind, and for the first time in my entire 80-plus years, I asked myself a simple question. What do you want to do today? The realization hit me like a gentle sunrise. I didn't have to answer to anyone. The house was mine. The time was mine. The life, in its twilight, was entirely mine. That heavy silence I feared so much slowly transformed into the most beautiful music. It became peace. And over the years, I have discovered that living alone as an older woman is one of life's greatest, most hidden blessings. There are 9 beautiful benefits to living alone, and I want you to cherish each and every one of them. Benefit number 1, the ultimate peace and quiet. When you live alone, your home is your fortress. There is no walking on eggshells around someone else's bad mood.
There is no absorbing the stress of another person who comes home from a long, frustrating day. The energy in your home is exactly what you make it, and you can fill it entirely with serenity. Benefit number 2, absolute freedom of your daily routine. My dear, if you want to eat a piece of chocolate cake for breakfast, you eat the cake. If you want to stay up until 2 in the morning reading a mystery novel and sleep until noon, you do it.
There is no judgment, no timeline, no expectations to fulfill. You are the master of your own clock. Benefit number 3, financial autonomy. For many women of my generation, financial decisions were made by our husbands or fathers. Living alone means you finally get to decide where your pennies go. Whether you want to save them for a rainy day, give them to a charity, or spend them on beautiful flowers for your living room just because they make you smile, the choice is yours. There is immense power and dignity in that. Benefit number 4, the end of endless compromise. Oh, the compromises we make in a lifetime. When you live alone, you control the thermostat. If you are cold, you turn up the heat without someone complaining it is too stuffy. You choose the television programs. No more sitting through hours of sports or loud action movies when your heart craves a classic romance or a fascinating historical documentary. You decorate exactly how you please. If you want a pink floral bedspread, you have it. If you want to paint your living room a vibrant yellow, you do it without holding a family meeting. Your space finally reflects your soul, not a negotiated middle ground. Benefit number 5, a deepening of self-discovery. When the noise of other people's needs fades away, you are forced to look inward. You discover old hobbies you abandoned decades ago. You find out what brings you genuine joy today, not what brought you joy 20 years ago. You meet yourself again and you realize she is quite wonderful company. Benefit number 6, curating your inner circle. Living alone does not mean you are isolated. It means you have the power to choose exactly who crosses your threshold. You no longer have to entertain toxic relatives or draining friends out of obligation or because your partner invited them. Your door opens only for those who bring love, respect, and peace into your sanctuary. Benefit number 7, the joy of uninterrupted passions. Whether it is gardening, knitting, writing poetry, or simply completing a complicated jigsaw puzzle over 3 days on the dining room table, no one is going to move your things or interrupt your flow. Your creative spirit finally has the room to breathe and expand without apology. Benefit number 8, freedom from the urge to please. We are conditioned as women from a very young age to be the ultimate caretakers. When you live alone, you lay down that heavy burden. You do not have to fix anyone's problems. You do not have to cook large meals you don't even want to eat. You are finally allowed to be perfectly unapologetically selfish with your own energy. And finally, benefit number 9, a stronger spiritual connection. In the quiet solitude of your own home, you have the sacred space to pray, to meditate, to talk to God, or simply to commune with the universe. The worldly distractions are gone, and your spiritual roots can grow deeper and stronger than ever before. Isn't it funny how society tries to make us fear the very thing that eventually sets us free? They tell us that as we age, we should cling to whatever company we can find, even if that company drains our spirit or disrespects our boundaries. But I am here to tell you that there is a profound difference between being lonely and being comfortably alone. Loneliness is a state of mind, an ache that comes from feeling disconnected from yourself and your purpose. But solitude is a rich, beautiful state of being where you are so completely connected to your own soul that you require nothing external to make you feel whole. I look back on my years of marriage and raising my children with deep love and boundless gratitude. I would not trade those precious memories for anything in the world. But I also look at my life right now in this quiet little house with the exact same amount of reverence. This is my time. This is my reward for a life of service. If you are struggling with living alone, I want you to consciously reframe it in your mind. Look at your home not as an empty vessel waiting to be filled by the noise of others, but as a sacred temple built specifically for your peace. You have earned this peace, my dear. You have weathered the terrible storms. You have climbed the steepest mountains, and now you have reached the gentle, sunlit plateau where you can finally sit down, breathe deeply, and just be. Never let anyone make you feel small, forgotten, or pitiful for enjoying your own company. You are a woman of profound strength, carrying decades of hard-earned wisdom in your heart. Embrace your sanctuary. Protect your peace fiercely. Drink your tea in the morning sunlight without rushing to be anywhere. Leave the dishes in the sink until tomorrow if you feel like it. Dance to the old sweet songs on the radio in your living room, even if your knees ache a little. The rest of your life is entirely yours to design, and it is a masterpiece waiting to be painted. May your home always be filled with golden light. May your heart be forever free from unnecessary worry, and may you always remember the immense, immeasurable value of your own glorious company. You are enough exactly as you are, right here, right now, in this beautiful, quiet moment. If these words found a home in your heart today, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you love most about your own company, or simply write, "I embrace my peace," so I know you are standing in your power. Do not forget to subscribe to our little family here, and please share this video with another beautiful soul who might need to hear these truths today. Until we meet again, stay blessed, stay strong, and stay peaceful. And